Hi guys, it's Hayley. I'm here to share another process video with you. I'm doing my third week guest designing at CSI, which is colour stories inspiration.ning.com if you want to go check it out. And that paper that I showed you at the beginning was inspiration piece. I should have left that up for a wee bit longer, sorry, because it all got put on fast forward. There was the 5 colours this week, which was red, white, kind of a tan, brown, and a sagey green. I loved the colour palette, and I really loved the inspirational picture. It was awesome. So I've decided to go with a quite neutral background, which kind of encompasses the tan and the white kind of shade. And it is a piece from Studio Calico print shop, and it's called Monochrome. And the pictures today are of a trip we went on, a train trip. Well, it's just a wee kind of local place where you can go at certain times of the summer. And the girls had never been, so it was exciting for them. The picture of me and the girls, that is matted onto a piece of 6x6 notes and things from the pad. And here I'm just getting that Chamel sticker out because I thought the colours were nice and it might go. So yes, so that picture of me and the girls is on a piece from that pad, and the train picture is on a piece from the 6x6 My Mind's Eye Necessities pad, which is the 6x6 pad that is all wood grains. Right, and the two little tiny red strips, they are some very old Seven Gypsies that I love. And they're just, I've only got little scraps of that left. In the, was it notes and things? Yeah, in the notes and things, I think in the ephemera pack or the card pack, they had a big tag. I cut these tags off that tag, used it as a template. I was looking for it to show you, but I couldn't find it. I'd put it away. So I just, because I wanted to be able to put something on the green tag, I thought, no, I will go with something plainer. And I've also made the red tag out of the Seven Gypsies paper, but it's not a full one. And that little ticket is from the Chamel ephemera pack, the little green ticket up the top. Now I've just popped in, excuse me, I'm going awfully quick here, aren't I? They're just my embossed pieces. I'll talk more about them later. To the left-hand side of the picture, I just added in a piece of vellum, and it was a doily vellum from the Crepe Paper Oh Darling ephemera pack, and it was just a scrap. That was just a flick through of that My Mind's Eye pad. Now the brown colour I was trying to bring in here with these 3 little popped out 1-inch circles that I used my circle punch for. That's a very old American crafts paper, super old. But it's one of my favourites. They have a couple of brown and white. They have a brown and white diagonal stripe, a really fine white stripe on brown, and they have that paper there, which is really old, and they are 2 of my very favourite papers from American Crafts. Now, excuse my blurriness here, no clue what that's about. It sorts itself out. There we are. Yeah, those papers are really super old collections when American Crafts was way more super bright, and I've just kind of hoarded them. And I use them, but I don't want to use them up, I'm afraid, because there's nothing else really on the market like them. And so I did emboss some pieces of the wood grain paper. I embossed one larger circle that was a Studio Calico stamp that had that quote on it that a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, or excuse me if that's not quite correct. So I embossed that in gold and then just cut it out by hand, and then I embossed 2 of the Ellie Edwards stamps, and that's there's a little heart, and then there's one that says right here, and they are from the Technique Tuesday stamps, and it's called Right Here Flair. And my embossing powder did an awful job. I had this awesome embossing powder last Christmas, a gold one, and it was lovely. I don't know which brand it was. I don't even think it was branded. I think I bought it at my local stamp shop and it didn't have labelling on it. And then I went back and bought one that was packaged up by them but was labelled as Ranger. So they sell a lot of stuff that they package themselves, so I presume they bought like a bulk amount and packaged it themselves, and I really don't like it, and I keep making myself use it, and I don't like it because it doesn't have a smooth it doesn't have that smooth. You'll be able to tell in my pictures or my close-ups. You'll know what I mean. You'll see it's a bit ugly, but I left it there. It just has a dimpled effect. It doesn't have a smooth effect, and you really need that smooth effect with metallics, I think. So I am going to order some other embossing powder. I'm thinking I might order the Hero Arts and the American Crafts and compare them. And then I hear that the Wow embossing powder is awesome, so I might get that as well and be totally excessive, and then there'll be gold embossing powder on everything because there will have to be. So if anybody has a actual real favourite and it gets that proper smooth sheen, I would love to hear, because I had this awesome one and I think I thought when I bought the Ranger one that was the same. I think I thought it was what I'd already had, and it was. I even checked, like they have samples at the store of the finish of each one, like an actual embossed image of each powder, and I thought I got the right one, and I didn't. Anyway, whinge over. I still used them, and they still look cute, but yeah, it wasn't what I was hoping for. Okay, so I'm just kind of creating these circles into a wee circle cluster. I had this one wee flare from Evalicious that said Moments. That was the right kind of minty aquary tone. And really it's just a whole bunch of layering in different spots. I'm just adding some foam here. It seems to have slowed down a bit. Did you feel like I was running for that first 5 minutes? I felt like I was running. Okay. Now I feel like I'm going in slow motion. Okay. So I've probably missed out some stuff here. I think I do chop the other half of that Chamel little ticket off because I don't want, yeah, here I go. Because I can't waste anything. If you're not going to see it, I'm not going to pull that one out. That's the difference. The green one's going to get pulled out. The red one is not, because it's not a full size anyway. I must say, nobody's really done any really, I mean, there's a lot of red stripes and things like that, but there's not a lot of good red papers like Seven Gypsies used to do. I still probably have partials of a couple, but I really love those papers. I'm just popping up the embossed ones on the with the foam, and I'm just trying to use up the, you know, the edge bits of the foam that surround the actual circle bits. I use it all. I really like how those stamps actually, like how they look embossed. I really like the look of them. But like I think that they would look great embossed in heaps of colours, but I just don't like the finish, if you get me. Yeah, you probably got me the first time. I need to be quiet now. Anyway, this colour-wise has been my favourite CSI challenge. Well, I do their challenges every month, but this has probably been my favourite of the month that I'm guest designing for. These colours are very me. Although the reason I do the challenges is so I use stuff that I don't automatically gravitate towards. That's the whole point. So for me anyway, that's the point for me. So this one, when I saw the colours, I was just like, yeah, excited, because I knew that I would like the result. And I have liked the result of the others. Anyway, I haven't talked about the challenge at all. So apart from the colours, the other options were, so the options of things to use, which you're supposed to select at least 2, was stripes, polka dots, wood or wood grain, hearts, flags, trees or branches, a wet medium, animal accents, string, twine, ruffles, curves, or anchor or other nautical elements. And you know what? I did get all my nautical elements out, which is probably limited to the Pink Paisley Solstice range, because I don't have a whole heap of nautical things. And I liked them, but they weren't the right colours. Like the glittery green was really teal, and it wasn't a good fit. So I couldn't go with nautical. But I can't even remember what I used on here. That was to do with the challenge. Better have a think about that. Well, I definitely used the wood. I used that in lots of places. And I did do a couple of hearts. Don't think I did any trees or anything. Wet medium. Well, for me, a wet medium is like an ink or a texture paste or something like that. I did emboss. I don't know if that counts. I don't think anyone really cares. I mean, I don't think they would care either way. And I did incorporate some string in a bit. You'll see that. So I've definitely covered myself there, and covered myself and didn't try really hard to cover myself, if you get what I mean. These challenges aren't. They're using things part isn't the hard bit for me. The hard bit for me is usually, well, the more challenging bit for me is usually the colour palette or the angle of the journaling, like where the journaling's coming from. Now for the topic for this page, or the topic for this challenge, was document an adventure. So that's what I went with. It was quite funny because of all the options you could do, one of the options in the inspirational words, which are words that you're supposed to use as inspiration for your journaling, but not as a title. Oh yes, here I am just stringing my tags as always, so I definitely need to talk over this bit. So anyway, the inspirational words you could use to write about were treasure, explore, or overboard. You know, I was thinking I was going to, not for this particular page, but I was thinking, oh, I could easily do a page on how overboard my second child is. Just goes overboard, more is more, about everything. Anyway, I don't think that's the way in which it was intended. But I did think about it for a bit. So here's where I incorporate my string on my tag, but I also want to just put a bit around that that flare, that stamped flare. And you know, I thought, let's just use my ATG on that. No, that didn't work. What I really need for this kind of thing is like a dot runner thing. Yeah, but they're too expensive. So, well, they are expensive here. So, and I would just have to keep it just for things like this. And I don't know. I don't do things like this enough, really, to justify it, really. But I do think that would work. But I do have those ThermoWeb sheets. I didn't get those out. That would have worked too. But in the end, I just end up using my stapler, my tiny attacher, because I think, I'm not going to mess with it any longer. But I know people do it all the time and have these free-flowing bits all over the page. But yeah, no, too fiddly for me. I can't do it. So yes, I don't know what I'm going to do when the string runs out. It's twine, because I particularly like this kind, you know. How ridiculous. I know, twine is twine. I actually have a whole big, huge roll of that red and white. I could have used that on this because it's red and white and the page has got red on it, but I didn't think of that, which I use at Christmas time. But I bought 2 of these. I don't know if I told the story already. I probably did. I have limited stories. I bought 2 of these big rolls at like a second-hand store. And my friend wanted to borrow some, and I was like, oh, I'll just have one. I must ask her if she uses it. I was like, I'll just have one, I'll never use it all. And look, I've just about used it all. So I might ask her if she uses it and if she'd like to give it back to me. Or can I borrow some back? So I got a new little Fiskars trimmer, which is exciting because I love that trimmer. Like, I've got the regular trimmer, but that little trimmer, oh, I love that thing. And Gabriella broke as 2-year-olds do, she broke the plastic guard bit on it, and it still works, but it doesn't hold your paper tight, and that's what I liked about it, that even with little tiny pieces it would hold it there. And so I thought, no, I'm just going to get one. The other one can, and it's funny, the other one I've thrown out, but it's funny because the other one now, I thought it was fine, the old one, except that bit was broken, but actually it's nowhere near as sharp as this one. So I've got a fancy new one. I know it seems so minor, but actually when you love a tool and you use it all the time and then it's substandard, it just is a pain, and it's really good for project life. Having said that, I haven't done any, but it doesn't take me that long to catch up, so I'm not in panic stations about it yet. So I'm just adding a wee bit of the leftover wood paper to this so that I've got a place to write or add another photo. So it just gives me a few more options for journaling and things like that. And who knows what I'm doing now? Oh, I'm looking for lettering. Yeah, this could take a while. This is why I don't typically do the pulling everything on video, because it can take a while. But I think these ones were in my Scrap Stash Kit Club kit for September, which I haven't done a lot with yet. I think they were in there, so they were kind of near the top. I love this Goodness font by Amy Tan, and it comes in quite well. I've got at least 2 colours in it. I've got this one, and I want to say I've had a different one as well, but my memory is not fantastic. This is where I'm throwing my hands up because there's no T. And I can't believe, of all the letters that I would not have, there's no T. I mean, really? We whinge about vowels all the time. But anyway, at least the T's easy to make. Yeah, so I have this colour palette, which is kind of like a grey taupey colour, and then I have the one that's kind of, it's not white, but it's kind of like light grey, and then the little crosshatch on it is black, and that's really nice too. But I think if I see some more of these around, I will pick them up. We don't really have any local stores anymore. Not, I was going to say not decent ones, doesn't that sound bad? But you know what I mean, like big stores where you go and go, oh my goodness, this is going to be bad for my bank account. We don't have any of that anymore, and we have kind of a few like stationery type stores or big box type stores that have bits and pieces, but their thickers are a ridiculous price. Like I know nobody probably knows the exchange rate, but I know that thickers are about $4.99 US at full price. Here they would, and it's in New Zealand dollars, so it's not really relevant, but some places they could be $13. There's no way there's no way. I would only probably buy them at Spotlight, which is for anyone that doesn't know, is like, it's a bit like Michael's, a little bit. I would either buy them there on clearance, or I'd buy them online from the States. I wouldn't. Oh, there's no way I'm paying. No way I'm paying full price for them. No. So here I've got some washi. I think this is Fricklethorn. It's hard with washi because you don't really label it. It's a little gold kind of diamond pattern. Oh, not diamond, triangle pattern. See, I constantly do this thick stuff down and then I want to get underneath it. I just felt like it needed something else there. But I really like this washi because it's gold, but it's not super, glitzy or anything. You can add it and it doesn't take over. Alright, so now I'm just securing that bit back down. So yes, I won't buy thickers basically. I do have quite a few thickers, but I won't buy them at full price. I don't think, if there's anything I want that's relatively new, I will buy it from the States. So, yeah, even if it's new, I'm not going to, anyway, you don't need to know that. You don't need to know about my budgeting or lack thereof. Anyway, so now I'm trying to fix this piece of washi under this other bit, and then I realised that I've stapled and all sorts of drama. But I get it under there. It's poor planning, that bit. But it did need something else, and it does have the desired effect of another layer. So eventually I think I'm going to stick these letters down. And I don't measure a lot. Like, I don't measure putting my papers down or anything like that. And I certainly don't measure where I'd put my photo on a piece of paper. But I do quite often just set my ruler there for when I'm doing thickers. Because I glue them with, like wet glue, yeah, they're not going to go anywhere after that. So you don't want to then have another thought about it. Like right now, I could put them down like that and that would be okay. But if I'm going to stick them down with wet glue, I want to be sure, because I'm going to rip everything trying to get it out. So yeah. So the other options for the journaling, which I didn't do, but I'll share with you, because this bit is also pretty boring. And I could have cut it out, but I forgot. And actually editing, I don't know. I know some people have the really short videos, like Sandra Snap Gonzo. She does those really short videos, and I really like her videos. And there was some people that commented on a video of hers the other day that they'd like them to be a wee bit longer. And I kind of think there's room for everybody. Like, this video for me is a wee bit long. I'm getting a bit ranty because it's like 23 minutes or something. But I really like Sandra's the way they are. It's like kind of concise. And then I really like Katie Scott's, and she just turns her camera on and that's it. She doesn't fast forward or edit at all. And I really like those as well. I kind of like everything, but I understand that not everybody does. And I could have, and it depends how you use it. Like I watch them when I'm exercising, and I watch them when I'm, like Katie's, I watch when I'm scrapbooking. So it depends how you use it. Not everybody does things that way. But I haven't really had a plan, but most of them have ended up being under 20 minutes, and sometimes only about like 12. That's probably a good luck day for you guys. Yes, this one is quite drawn out, really. And I could edit these bits out, but honestly, editing is an ass. If anybody hasn't had to edit anything, oh, it's not fun. And it's a lot easier not to edit, so bear that in mind. Either it just is an ass overall for everybody, or my computer doesn't like it. I'm not sure, but I hear a lot of people have said that they've had issues with it. And so if ever I don't edit and you think, why didn't you cut that out, it's because it could make the difference between me making and posting the video or not, because the editing can take me just if the computer's being stupid, it could take as long as it takes to make the page. I don't have that kind of time, so just, yeah, be forgiving and make yourself a cup of coffee if if it's a bit drawn out. So anyway, the other journaling options, just so you know what kinds of things happen over at CSI, there's one of them could be write your journaling on a flag or series of flags. That could have been really cool. I should have thought about that more. Anyway, and there was a prompt idea. They had these great prompt ideas. I don't know how Debbie finds them, but she's always linking up a website that has like prompts or, you know, story starters or all sorts of lists, just really cool things. And some of the websites I've saved because they're things I'd never ever seen before, and they're really cool. So this one is a place called, it says find inspiration at Bill's with a Z, Bill's Treasure Chest. So that is the link up to the website. And the writing format, so write your journaling as clues to a treasure hunt. Now that could have been really cool too. We actually did a treasure hunt for my husband's birthday one year. I say we, I mean me. I did it. The children ran around screaming, finding clues. But I did this treasure hunt because he's quite, what can I say about the husband? He's quite smart and he likes tricky things. He likes things that there's been some thought involved. So I did this big treasure hunt for him, which I just started the day of his birthday and then had to go around. I had to make up all the clues and then go around hiding it. Anyway, that would have been a great page to do for this challenge, but I've already done the pictures, so I'm not doing it again. Anyway, that was a little bit of a off topic. And then I have already shared the inspirational words. But so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 quite different options of ways to journal on the page. And a lot of the ladies at CSI, they do really beautiful kind of lots of white space, maybe just one little photo type, you know, those beautiful pages, which I do occasionally, but some of them do them often, really beautiful, like stenciling and artwork and things. And a lot of them journal on the back because aesthetically it would kind of muck things up. So, I mean, a lot of them don't journal right on the front, but it still gives you such a varied list of ideas of ways to journal and ways you hadn't, things you know about, like maybe the clues to a treasure hunt or a list of things like that, things you know about but actually don't think about. Like you've seen them in articles or seen them online before, but when you're actually going to create, you're not thinking about it. So this kind of gives you a bit of a reminder of, oh yeah, I should do that. That might make my kids actually read the journaling. No, my kids read the journaling. They love reading about themselves. Yep, so humble. But yeah, so I'm just adding, I thought that under the title needed, I'm going to journal, having just ranted about journaling, but I am going to journal, but I just thought I had this other picture, I put a picture on that tag of Sophia, and then I had this other picture of a different angle of the train, and I thought that was quite cool, and I like the red, how it brought in some more red. And I actually end up, totally unplanned, so I finished the page, right? Finished the page, and then I did this recently on another page that was a bit embarrassing because it all happened on video, where I went, I haven't got all the pictures on here. Remember that one? Yeah, that was me. But I actually realised that I had another series of pictures of Sophia, just a wee story about her from this trip, and I really didn't want to do a whole nother page about it. That makes it sound like her story wasn't worthy of another page. That's not what I mean, but it would just be easier to do a wee add-on to this, and I did. And I don't think, I'm sorry, I am just fiddling about, I didn't record it, just so you know, but you will get to see it at the end. So here I'm just adding some letters by Karen Foster. They're super old, but they're awesome. And yeah, so I make a 6x12, and it just includes a couple pictures of Sophia because she had this awesome expression when the train horn went off, and she pulls faces all the time. She's very expressive, but you don't always get to see them because your camera, well, you don't always get to record it because your camera isn't always out, but I actually got these on camera, so it's quite hilarious. So I do just make a 6x12, and it's on the other American Craft striped brown and white paper that I already spoke about, and then it's just all the same elements again, except I use a rub-on from Maggie Holmes. I'm going to show you it here. And I did add some, here she is, I did add some of those My Mind's Eye wooden dots because I love those, and that was just adding the wood in again. So yes, this is going to go in with my other page that you saw last week where I mucked it up. So I mentioned in that video that I want to, as soon as I do a page like that that's weird, that has the 12x12 then the 6x12, I immediately want to fill that 6x12 slot. So it's not going to be hanging around in my album all strange. So that's why I've done this like that. So here I am with just a wee few close-ups. Yeah, see that? See that embossing powder? Fix it for me. Tell me which one. Anyway, thanks for coming by and thanks for watching, and please come over to CSI, and I know you can do this challenge because I did it. So come join in. Okay, bye.